Well, on today's Working Wednesday Walkabout, let me tell you what we've got on our list of things that I want to get done before Thanksgiving, really even before the weekend. I've got Victor here, and well, he is affirming that, Linda, you are not crazy about a project that I want to get done, and that is removing the seed heads from the redbud trees. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to take a brief mini tour in a small, beautiful church garden in New York City, a flashback to the past, where it confirmed as well that I am indeed not crazy. And we're going to transplant a couple of perennials and things, maybe some foxglove. Well, there's just a number of things we need to do, including cleaning out our gutters. So if you've got any of these things on your list, you might want to
get yours now.
Well, here's a tip. Today it is in probably the 80s, 70 or 80s, Victor, do you think? It's really warm, but before too long it is going to be ice and snow season. And the tip is to really keep your workers happy so that when there's an ice storm and you want them to come to your house first, that they will come. Here, guys. I'll put yours down here. Oh, yeah, I'll give it to you. Because, yeah, if you treat them right, then you'll treat me right, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, no, but it's the little things, because if we do have an ice storm, if there's a hailstorm or whatever, there are hundreds to thousands of people who need help from people like Victor and Kayla and whatever. And so if we can bribe them a little bit on the front end, maybe they'll come and help us first or bump us to the middle of the line. That's happened to me more than once when these guys have come to my rescue. So what are they also coming to my rescue for? I recently, as you know, was in New York City, and we were in a charming, charming little park, and Stuart's going to show you some of that little park right now. We were taking a tour of it. And I've always thought, I've always wondered, am I crazy how much it bugs me to have all of the dead seed pods hanging on my redbud trees? Not so much in the fall, but in the winter and in the spring, especially when the buds start coming out. And I think it kind of mars the beauty of the little pink blooms. So when we were in New York City, I noticed that in this small park, they too, it must have bothered the park rangers or whomever, because they also had removed all of the seed pods. So I have been doing that really ever since we got back on all of the lower branches, but now it's the high branches that need attacking, and I'm not doing that kind of stuff anymore.
Yes.
I just don't think it's smart. So these young guys are doing it. Oh, but look at the sweet little bird nest. Don't bother the bird nest. Don't bother the bird's nest. But the silhouette on these will be so much more beautiful. The other thing is, from a practical standpoint, do you remember the ice storm we had on Halloween, Stuart? Do you remember that a number of years ago? And all the leaves were still on the trees,
Yes.
and because of that, the damage from the ice and the hail was that much worse. Well, the same thing will apply to all of those seed heads. So if we get an ice storm or a hailstorm or sleety rain, and it attaches to all of that, it will weigh down the branches and increase the likelihood that there will be tree damage. So taking into account both of those things, number one, that I wasn't crazy, and number two, that I really want to make sure that these trees thrive and don't get any of that winter damage that is all too common here in Oklahoma City, well, then I convinced myself and Victor that indeed I was going to splurge, and I was going to have those nasty, well, they're not nasty. They'll make new little baby redbud trees, but I think I probably already will have enough.
Yes.
So when we come back, I'll talk to you about some other things that require a ladder that they've helped me with today. And there's definitely two more things that you want to make sure that you have your pantry stocked with. One is hot tea, and the other, you talk about a staple, is
I've said it a million times. I'm going to say it again. My very, very favorite Manicora honey. Now, I'm trying a different kind of tea right now. Pura tea, which my sister says is supposed to be so healthy. Well, I am going to make it even healthier by adding some Manicora honey because it is packed with prebiotics, antioxidants. Look at this caramel yumminess. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It tastes like no other honey made by those bees from the manuka trees in New Zealand. Well, it is just an indulgence, but it's also a staple.
So it's cozy cottage season and the best time to get some Manicora honey, especially because they've got a great sale going on between now and December 2nd. Go to manicora.com/Linda to get $150 off of your starter kit. You want to get yours now.
Well, if you are wondering what to put under the tree for the gardener in your life, I highly recommend these two different things. My new favorite shovel right here, the berry and bird shovel that I just bought, is available in a number of different places. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on eBay, you can get it, where else did we see it was available?
Places, but I don't know what they were, but there were more places.
Yeah, and a lot of them are, it's on special now on Amazon. I think it was also a good price on eBay. So just look wherever you can find it. But I do love it because it really gets into those tight spaces. The other tool that I love is my Hori Hori knife. Right here, it helps me clean the muck, that clay dirt, off of my tools. And as you saw earlier, I was able to plant with it, dig with it, weed with it, all sorts of things. So I would also recommend this as a gift idea. It would make a great stocking stuffer for the gardener in your life because it's very, very, very practical. And then the other thing that I love, of course, is my little kneeler. So we'll put links to all of these, but if you're wondering what to get for the gardener in your life, then I would definitely highly recommend these things. So the other thing that required a ladder, some of it I could access, but I couldn't have done a very good job. And so I decided the safer thing to do was for neither Hubs nor myself to get on a ladder to really clean out my gutters. And I had thought mistakenly that I had gutter guards on these, and I didn't. So I really wanted to get them cleaned out before, again, snow and ice season hits, because it can really be a mucky mess, and I don't want anything to muck up or block my downspouts. So these guys came out today and they cleaned out all of my gutters, and now I will probably, as a birthday present to myself, because I've got a birthday coming up, have gutter guards put on at least the gutters on the garage, seeing as I do not have gutters on the cottage itself. So let's talk about a few more things that I'm going to be doing in the backyard. It's just kind of a dusty mess back here. So as I prep for Thanksgiving, and hopefully, I think it's going to be like highs in the 50s, Stuart, lows in the 40s. It's going to be cooler than I had hoped. I was hoping we'd be able to eat out here, but once again, I'm thwarted by Mother Nature. But I want to clean up all of this. I want to make sure that I have enough firewood in stock so that we can use my solo fireplace. I had a dead plant back here. I pulled it out, and I need to do a lot more tidying in the container beds. I probably will harvest some of my herbs, which are thriving over here, because a lot of this sage and the parsley and the thyme, well, it is still going strong. And the oregano, ooh, that's yummy. Very yummy. And I'll harvest lots of that to dry. And I don't know if I shared with you earlier that I also grew this from seed, some lemongrass. And I think I'm probably gonna make some kind of lemongrass chicken soup, yeah, for this winter, because it is soup season after all. And then I've just got general cleaning up that I'm gonna do back here. Any leaves that fall, they're just gonna fall. I'll pull out spent annuals though, and throw those in the compost bin. And then I've only got one more thing that I wanna get done on my Wednesday walkabout, and I'll tell you that when we come back. Now, the other thing that I'm doing, and I'll continue to do this throughout the course of the next couple of weeks, we're not going to plant our tulips until later next week, I think, maybe on Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving, we'll start planting the tulips and the pansies. But I am starting to transplant all of my foxglove into the designated areas where I want it to grow from a design standpoint. So I've already transplanted a couple. You can see here some exposed roots where I dug them out. And I'm going to transplant this one too. And if we were going back in time, you might say, okay, Linda, why are these growing at the base of your topiaries or at the base of pots? I've got a bunch of them growing at the base of a boxwood. Well, it's because for whatever reason, probably because they're protected underneath the canopy of the boxwood or the topiary or whatever, those seedlings tend to germinate better and persist better than they do when they just fall onto the ground in the garden. That has been the case there. Look over here. There's one growing behind this topiary back there. And here's another one right here. And so after the flowers are spent, after the foxglove seeds have dried, then I just lay a stalk on top of the pot, and right there in place they root and take hold so that I can transplant them where I want to transplant them later. And what I want to do is create a whole drift kind of from here. The design of it is from here to there. And by the way, that pot, that seeding into your pots for germination of seeds, that's not just true of foxglove. It will be true of other types of seedlings as well, including my coveted golden fever, probably Canterbury bell, some other things that I find a little bit hard to germinate. So there's my tip to you. So you can see right here, I've got a foxglove here, I've got one there, here. I've got one lurking behind this pancake arborvitae. I've got one over here, a large one. You can see that I just transplanted. It's kind of complaining a little bit. I've got a couple more over here, and I think this one is going to go right here. The soil is, the sprinkler just went off not too long ago, this morning. So this soil is nice and moist, and I'm just going to tuck that in there. And won't it be beautiful when all of those foxglove are in bloom? There's another big one through here at the same time as the weigela are in bloom. I got those at White Flower Farm, and also the roses are in bloom. So it will be a completely different look than I've got going right now in very, very late fall, but I think it'll be beautiful. So Stuart, I am going to finish up my transplanting a few more of these foxglove, and I think then I will reserve the rest for when we put the tulips in the ground, so I'll know where I have space to plant them. Well, today, instead of an outfit du jour, I want to share a couple of joy du jours, joys of the day, because, well, they are just so near and dear to my heart. So yesterday around dinner time, somebody came knocking at my door, and it was two of my girlfriends, my neighbor girlfriends. Let's see, this time it was Nyala and Rowan, and we have kind of bonded over butterflies here at the garden. We have that in common. So they both painted or drew one and then colored it in, and then they also gave me a thank you note because they spend a lot of time in my garden, and when they come, I often will give them little treats. So they drew some treats on here, and they said, I love you for candy and Milky Ways. So that definitely made me smile, and they are holding pride of place here on the mantle. A couple of other things that are giving me a jolt of joy today are a few of the treasures that I found in yesterday's video when we went shopping in Milton at a fabulous antique store, and I thought I would just share with you what I came home with. Not a lot of things, because I was
flying after all. But I did come home with this tiny little pot. And you may recall I said then it would look adorable with a little tiny orchid in it, but I think it looks equally as sweet and maybe a little bit more seasonal with a tuft of moss in it. And it is up here keeping the butterflies company. The other thing that I got was this sweet little book. I think I showed it to you. Stories of Insect Life. And I've got it right here because sometimes I get cold, and when I've got this little fire lit up, I can stand here and get warm. And oops. And then, well, I can just look at all of the fun insect wildlife characters that populate my garden. And let's see, what do I have here? Oh, and in here, also from yesterday's road trip, was a postcard or a little card from, remember Whippoorwill Farm? A number of you asked me, why are there pumpkins out in the street? And that is to slow down traffic. So I thought that was a great idea. The other thing that I came home with was this sweet, and this may be my favorite thing, this sweet tin box. And I mean, I love it anyway because it's tin, and I love these shades of blue and the toile on it. But I also love the way the lid has kind of a cushiony, puffy appearance to it, pillowy, if you will. And then this is just where I'm keeping my matches because you guys know I am a girl who loves her candlesticks. So that is what's going on in our Wednesday Walkabout today. Some help from Victor and his pals, but I've been out there doing a lot of stuff here recently, and it has really been fun. Now that a lot of the pumpkins have been removed and I'm getting my last minute chores done, well, let's just say I am ready after Thanksgiving for Santa to come to town.